Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is victoria.a.fash. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. If you're a new subscriber, you know I love you, you know I appreciate you so much. Thank you for always coming back. Okay, so today's video hopefully is going to be a very quick one because we have a few minutes before we go out. I'm here with my husband. Can you introduce yourself? His voice is still bad, so we are going to just try to see if we can get this done today.
Okay. Morning, guys. Hi, guys.
Is better.
Hi, guys. My name is Wale, and Wale I really fash, and it's great. We're here again.
Yeah,
Back in love.
I'm coming. All right, guys. So yeah, like I said, we want to share some of the lessons. Some definitely we cannot share all because we've learned a lot of lessons in this 1 year, right, babe? Right, so yes, we'll be sharing some of the lessons that we've learned in 1 year of marriage, just to encourage somebody, you know, or something you should be on the lookout for your first year of marriage. But I think, okay, maybe we'll do this in another video. Like, I wanted us to do it like what I thought it was going to be like before and what the reality is, like my expectation and reality of marriage. But that will be another video. Okay, let's talk about the lessons we have learned in marriage. So okay, all right, I think one of the biggest lessons that 1 year of marriage, and this is like the honest first lesson, is that marriage is not easy. Now I know that this might be like a cliche, it might sound like a cliche to so many people, but honestly I thought that, you know, our first year of marriage is going to be you know, the lovey-dovey, smiley. At first it was just going to be a bliss, you know. Then when children comes in, and that's you know what people always tell you, you know, when children comes in, then the problems start, you know, then in-laws start to interfere and things has to happen and the rest of it. Of course, every marriages are different, but I always thought, oh, the first year is just going to be amazing. We'll spend time together, we'll just be loving on each other every day and every time. I would, okay, that's probably another lesson. But to be honest, although we cannot go into a lot of details, but I think the first year of marriage is where you know most challenges are faced, even when it comes to your personality, trying to learn how to cope with each other, you know, trying to not allow what the other person is doing to irritate you to get to you, trying to be sane sometimes, you know, trying to get used to waking up to somebody every day, and I think for me, trying to get used to you know, opening up every aspect of my life, even though we've been very open before we got married. But yeah, it's a different thing when the two of you are together, because marriage means that you are not one together. So there's a lot of learning, you know, especially in your first year. And I know it's a learning forever, like you keep learning about each other because you yourself, you're growing, he is growing, you are both evolving. But to say that it has been easy, it has been the easiest part, honestly it hasn't been. I'm not saying that it is like that. For some people, their first year is a bliss, and then, you know, yeah, but our first year, we have our moments, we have our lovey-dovey moments, our blissful moments. But it came to, I don't know, maybe it just hits me that marriage takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work from your side. It's not like when you're dating and you're angry with each other, you can decide not to talk to each other, or, you know, you can put up attitude, you can go to, and jeez, like I feel like I'm going to be sharing so many things yeah. Or, you know, then you can call a friend and say, this is what my boyfriend did. But in marriage now, you're careful, you understand who you talk to, because you are in it forever. It's not a matter of you can break up tomorrow. So it just requires a lot of commitment, and it's not easy, honestly. It's sometimes I just feel like have you ever had that kind of a moment in a marriage where you just feel like this is too much?
No.
In our 1 year, you've not, babe? Are you serious?
Have I been upset? Have I been I don't know. Yes, all of those things. I felt all ranges of emotion. I've been exasperated, but I don't know, maybe a part of me always knew that it was going to happen. Basically because two people with two different backgrounds, growing up in two different environments, having different sets of notions, and having been set on their ways, most likely, there will be clashes. There will be clashes of how I like things done versus how she likes things done, or what she wants done differently that I like done in a particular way. Do you understand? So some of those things you'd first have to drag them before you make a compromise. It will get to, then after a while, some other things will crop up like that, but you'd have learned your lessons to know if you can live without it, make a compromise and all that. So with time, especially if you are deliberate about understanding yourselves and doing a rethink after maybe there's a break in communication or something, or there's a quarrel or disagreement, if you're the type that tries to, you know, reevaluate what transpired and all that, you may, you know, it will help you process faster when something similar happens subsequently. Okay. So that's why I said.
But do you think that this 1 year has been easy? Like, let's even put it on a scale, like 10 being super easy, like super convenient, and 1 being really tough. What will you rate our first year of marriage?
Okay. 10 being what?
10 is super easy, it's a ride, it's exciting, and 1 is it's really hard. So what will you rate our marriage?
I'll say 6.
6. Okay. I would also say 5.5. I would say 5.5 because, yeah, that's how the first year has been, and of course it's based on what I thought the first year would be, right? And what it ended up being. There's a lot of battles that you don't expect to fight. There's a lot of things that would happen, things that you probably have heard in other marriages, and you pray to God that this is not going to happen in my marriage, and some of those things would hit you. And I think even from our first few weeks of marriage, you know, some things started to occur. You see, anyways, that is one of our points, but yeah, we'll talk about more of that when we're talking about one of the other lessons. But yeah, that's my own. What's your own first lesson?
I have many lessons, so I don't even know which one.
Let's choose one.
It's important to be kind. To be kind to each other. And I'll put it this way. Both of us use this Bible app, YouVersion. So there are some lessons or lesson plan, if I can call it, that I can share with someone. There was one she shared with me when we just got married, and I think it was day 5 or day 4 of that particular plan. And the person talked about being kind.
Yeah.
I took it for granted. I just assumed it's easy. Like if you care about someone, you can be kind. It's not. But you would find out that when you're hot or when you're upset, not necessarily hot, you know, the emotions are different. But when you're hot or upset, there are chances that you become unkind. You become unkind in everything you do, in your action, in your gesture, in your reaction. And it makes things worse. And it's natural, it's human instinct to spread unhappiness. So if my wife is the reason I'm unhappy or upset or one thing, it is natural to want to hit back. But you'd have to learn how to be kind. How to be upset and still be kind. Be kind in what you say, how you respond. So something the person says, like, for instance, your partner may be the type that addresses you in certain ways, uses endearment and all those things, baby, love, one thing. When they're upset, there's chances they will withdraw them.
Yeah.
And you may also do the same. And trust me, it's not going to help. And there's this temptation that if he can do it, or if he can do it, I can also do it. It's not going to help you. It's not going to help you. So you have to learn or teach yourself to be kind.
Is that what do you have learned from us, from our marriage? So I want you to say it from a perspective of us. You learned to be kind and stuff like that. Yeah,
I'm building to it. So, so usually when I'm upset, I withdraw. Or not necessarily with my wife. Like if something is getting me bothered, I am the type that withdraws rather than share. But so because that's all who I've always been, and all that one, when disagreement started, it was easy to revert to those things. But it started causing more problem than solving, especially because what my wife needs most times when there are stuff like that is different. She needs to be touched, to be held, to be comforted, and all that one. And so I felt justified initially. But after a while, with many of the things she's had to say, teach, or would I say, show me, and all that, I found out that staying kind helps. Even if the other person is not being kind, you're not necessarily doing it for them. You're doing it for the relationship, because, like they say, too many, I don't know if this adage applies exactly, like too many cooks spoil the broth. So she's upset, I'm upset. She's being unkind, I'm unkind. She's this and I'm this one. It's going to deteriorate the marriage further, because oftentimes when there is a big breakup or there's anything in a marriage, it's not the day the person walks away. It has started over the time. So stuff like that will build too much, and it will store in your negative tank. And trust me, one day it's going to explode. So when you're being kind, you're helping your partner, you're helping the union, and you're helping yourself.
So being kind even when you're mad, just remember to be kind to your partner. Yeah, I think that's also a big lesson for me too. And being kind is not just even in your action, even in the things you say.
Yeah.
Right. Even in the way you make the other person feel, because there's always a tendency of, oh, he hurts me and I want to hurt him in the same degree, which was what you said. So it said something about me, maybe not cooking well or something. Let's just take that as an instance. So maybe I want to attack him, and then I would say something about him not providing for us or something. You understand? So we are not attacking ourselves in a way that it's going to hurt each other, because I want him to feel the level of hurt that he has made me feel. You understand? So yeah, I think that's actually
and when the quarrel ends, the hurt will
it remains.
In fact, sometimes the things you say that time does not leave the mind.
Keep on. It will be there even after you guys have resolved it. I think another lesson for me, it was in my head. There was one I wanted to talk about just now. Anyways, I think another lesson for me is you need to always remember that you are a team. Right, that's one thing I've always learned. Something I've learned in 1 year of marriage is that always remember that you are both fighting as a team. When you have issues, it's the two of you against the issue. Even if the issue is what I caused, right? If my husband is pointing it out, or I am the one pointing it out in him, it's not because I am attacking him or he's attacking me. It's because we want to try to resolve an issue. But more often than not, especially in our marriage, in our first year of marriage, when he says, babe, this and this and that. For instance, I remember there was a time that I was working like 3 jobs at a time. So my husband would go to work in the morning. He would meet me on the same spot. He met me. I haven't had my bath. I haven't cleaned the house. I haven't cleaned the kitchen. I haven't done anything, obviously, because I was drilled with work and everything, and I wanted to do everything at the same time, right? So I had a justified reason that I think he should know, because that I'm doing all of this work. You understand? So why are you coming? My husband would come. Normally he would come back, he would enter the kitchen, he would wash the dishes, he would do stuff. He won't, in the beginning, he wouldn't say anything, he would just come. He wouldn't bring tea for me, make dinner for me sometimes, and all that, because he understood. And I think because of that, I started to relax at a point. And the day he pointed it out to me, to that, babe, listen, how can you be having your bath at 11 o'clock, 12 a.m. sometimes? You understand? You've not done this, you've not done that. And I remember that day we had a big fight. It's because you don't understand, you don't know what I'm going through. I have this commitment here, commitment there, and all of that. And even though I was trying to justify what I was saying in my mind, and the honest truth is that I wanted that, like, based on this same lesson, is that you cannot lie to yourself. Even if I'm trying to convince him, in my mind I have the Holy Spirit inside of me. It's convicting me that what he's saying is not wrong. You can actually manage your time properly, that you're able to get certain things done, not everything in a day. But if today you wash the dishes, tomorrow you commit to taking your bath early, next month you can actually actually do it if it's something that you actually want to do, okay? But because sometimes I feel like I need to win the argument or vice versa, it happens with him too. Like I need to make my point clear, he's also trying to make his point clear. We end up not understanding each other because we feel like we are attacking each other, okay? Not realizing that there is a problem here. How can we solve it? Okay, so that's one lesson for me. I don't want to make it long because we have more to go. Yeah, just knowing that we are a team, we are working together as a team, and I think it's something we've improved on. Right, we have our moments, but first time in our marriage, first month of our marriage, we used to have fights all the time about, hey, you said I'm doing this. You know, it's not about this thing is not being done, but it's more or less like you're doing this, I'm doing this, and then, you know, we start to attack each other. You understand? So yeah, just knowing that we are a team, and anytime there's an issue, it's us against the problem, regardless of whose side the problem tilts towards. So yeah.
Okay. I think next lesson, I think it applies to me more. In fact, which is you have to learn to listen. I would have branded myself a good listener. Why? Because my mind is analytical. So sometimes when you're saying A, B, my mind can't tell me where you're going. But what I didn't factor in is the emotional angle. When emotions are involved, logic flees sometimes. So you can't see the picture as you would have if it was an outside person. So if someone related an instance to you, you have some clarity because you are not affected. Your feelings are not involved. And so you are dispassionate and it helps you. But in marriage, your feelings are affected almost all the time, even in innocuous things. So I believe I'm still learning even, but it took me a while to understand that sometimes when my wife is saying ABC, what she's saying is XYZ.
Yeah.
It will take me understanding what she's saying from our perspective. Because sometimes you focus on your perspective of the issue. Or the thing. So when she says, babe, you don't do this, or you don't do that, automatically, you know, she just presented a picture. Instead of you to take the picture, you switch the picture. And you looked at it from your prism, from your perspective, from your angle, and you interpret it like that. And it will cause more problem. So now I'm learning to listen, to hear both the said and the unsaid. And the one you intend to say, which means that you have to learn not to answer, not to give the first answer that comes to your mouth. So when she says, or your partner says this one, that one, that one, at least for me, I'm trying to learn that when she says this, that, and I want to reply sharp as it ought, I have to just keep quiet or try and understand. So I'm learning a lot of listening. I mean, I have certain, my personality type, whatever, I am predisposed to certain things easily than some things. So when she says this one, instantly I say no. And she's upset. Not just because I'm saying no, but because of...
You didn't listen.
Yes. So now I've learned to say, the first thing I started doing was, when she said, I'll say, I've heard. Then it started causing problem because I've heard to her means yes, but it's not yes to me. I'm just saying I've heard. So now I've learned to say, I'll think about it. So that we won't miscommunicate, misunderstand each other. So when she says that, I'll say, okay, okay, I'll think about it. If there's need for me to ask further questions, I will. Then sometimes it helps in the sense that when we now talk about it later, I think the emotions have reduced. We can easily talk and understand each other better. So I've learned to do all those ones, and I'm still learning, believe me. So it's a very important lesson for me to, listen better, understand the meaning behind whatever suggestion and all that, in order to be better at making response or reaction.
Yeah. Okay.